Welcome to Roanoke County Business Partners. The purpose of this show is to highlight the accomplishments and the different activities that our business partners in Roanoke County are doing out in the community. And we have a great example today going on the campus of Virginia Western Community College. They're offering summer camps. They call it Kids College. And the two camps that we're going to focus on are Magic, which is mentoring a girl in construction, and robotics. And we have Roanoke County business partners who are not only sponsoring, but they're taking part and being a part of the instruction and being on board here at the campus. So stay tuned. You don't want to miss a minute.
This is Chief Howard Hall of the Roanoke County Police Department. I'd like to thank the almost 80% of Virginians who already wear their seatbelt. However, there were still 310 people who died last year in Virginia while unrestrained. Seatbelts are the best defense in a crash and save thousands of lives each year. During the Click It or Ticket campaign, we will have officers out day and night aggressively enforcing Virginia's occupant protection laws. If you are caught not wearing a seatbelt or using a child seat as required, you will get a ticket. The warnings are over. Click it or ticket.
We're at Virginia Western Community College, and we are observing new camps. They're summer camps for kids, and with me now is Paulette Parkhill. Paulette is the Workforce Program Coordinator for the Virginia Western Community College Kids College, and it's a really unique concept. Paulette, tell us, we're going to focus on two camps. You've got all kinds of camps going on, but the two we're going to look at is Magic, which is mentoring girls in construction, and robotics. So could you tell us a little bit about each one? Just give us a real brief overview about what's going on in the two camps.
Well, Magic is introducing young women to the construction industry. It allows them a little bit of hands-on experience working with some women from the trades.
Yes.
And
they have very neat tools.
Yes, they do. They have tomboy tools, so they have pink tools. Not all women like pink, but for this particular camp, we're using the pink.
That's perfect.
The girls go away with a hard hat. That was actually provided by Branch and Associates, and we did put a pink Magic label on there for them so that they have the mentoring a girl in construction presented on the hard hats.
Exactly. And what age group is this targeted to?
This is for 7th grade through 12th grade.
So, so it goes all the way through high school.
Yes.
I was thinking it was just middle school.
We're focusing on middle school and high school girls.
Okay, all right. And for the robotics, now I know Magic is just for girls, but robotics is open up to everyone, right?
Yes, young ladies and young men are welcome in the robotics camp.
Okay, and the target age group? With
the target age group, and that is 6th grade through 9th grade. I'll expand it sometimes to 10th grade just to, you know.
So it really is a focus on middle school more so than high school then?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Okay. And what kind of skills are they learning?
They are working a little bit with Inventor, so they use the 3D, they use a little bit of CAD.
That's
so
great.
that they can design their scoops for their robots, and they have a sumo bot competition on the last day of camp.
Okay, and they actually make robots.
Yes.
That's what I think is so cool, and give them commands, and they run around the room.
They actually do their commands. They work through the computer and set them up, and then they work in teams. And from there, they learn a little bit of just working together, not just working as single.
Okay. Well, now Paulette, you're offering a whole list of classes, and we're focusing on these two because we have Roanoke County business partners who are not only sponsoring these camps, but they're participating in the camps also, as we'll see in later interviews. How did you come up with the ideas to do these innovative programs? How did you know this was what was going to work and people were going to get excited about it and jump on board?
Well, I pretty much went to the adjunct faculty and to the community business partners that I have, my connections, and just asked for ideas. It said the sky is the limit.
Yes.
And from there, then just figured out what, we would put together, as the ideas came in. And if I've tried a few and they haven't worked, then, we just move on to something else.
Exactly.
But so far, all of them have come to fruition. It's taken a year or two to get them to, to where we
program,
are.
Yeah.
But, it's one of those things you just keep plugging away at it.
Oh, that's great. Well, we are definitely looking forward to seeing the girls in Magic and the girls and boys in robotics. So all of you stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome to the Magic Camp. Magic stands for Mentoring a Girl in Construction, and we're on the campus of Virginia Western. Joining me now is Paul Huffman. Paul is president of Dominion Metallurgical, which is located in Valley Point. Paul, it's great to have you on the show today.
Good to be here.
Thanks for being a part of this.
Good.
And before we get started, let me say a belated congratulations to you on your recent internal expansion. We appreciate every time a business expands in Roanoke County.
Good. Yeah, we needed the room.
Oh, I know. You were just growing leaps and bounds. So let's get started and talk about why it's important for a company like Dominion Metallurgical to be involved in a camp like Mentoring Girls in Construction.
Our company has a history of giving back to the community and also supporting educational efforts to our youth.
Yes.
It goes back to, you and I talked a number of years ago about our input into Virginia Tech's metal casting teaching lab called VT Fire, where we engaged and contributed to the development of that program.
That was amazing. I mean, we even took our VTV up and filmed that. And it's a great analogy to this camp because what you've done with VT Fire is amazing as far as with your professional organization, the new what do you want to say, entry-level employees, engineers that you're putting out in the field?
Yes, the engineers, we used to put out of Virginia Tech approximately one a year. Now, because of the VT Fire program, we're putting somewhere between 6 and 10 a year out into our industry that have come through the program. So
I think that's the most amazing thing, that your industry had to figure out a way to produce employees to come into your industry, and you did it with VT Fire.
Right, and it was a multi-year effort.
And I think that's a great analogy back to the Magic Camp, because I feel like that's what Virginia Western is leading the way with here.
Yes.
They're looking for needs in the community, and then they're going out and getting businesses to support.
Yes.
And then with all the school systems and everything, they're able to recruit and then provide this. So it's so much better for someone to come in and go through a camp or a class and find out, maybe this isn't my cup of tea, or I'm wild about this, I want to pursue it more.
Exactly.
You know?
And even though the construction industry is really not our industry, some of our customers are in the construction industry.
There's a lot of relationships
there are a lot of relationships, and we're happy to support the community efforts that you, Virginia Western, are involved in.
Well, thank you. We appreciate Roanoke County Business Partners being involved in such a great educational initiative. Okay, so stay tuned with us. We'll be right back with some other Roanoke County Business Partners. Welcome back to the campus of Virginia Western. We are once again in a classroom with the Magic Camp, which is Mentoring Girls in Construction. And joining me now is Barbara Dooley. Barbara is project manager for Lionberger Construction. Barbara, thank you for taking the time off from work and joining us here today. We really appreciate it. Let's start about why Lionberger thinks it's important to be involved with a camp like this. Why are you supporting Magic Camp?
Well, actually, we strongly believe in promoting any type of educational program that increases the construction workforce, because right now that is limited.
Yes, yes.
So right now, that's one of the big key items is training new individuals to come into the construction industry.
But I like that. I mean, you're not sitting back and complaining. You're getting out and doing something and looking for new ways to have future employees. And that's what career development's all about. That's what these camps are all about.
Yes.
But you have your own unique story. I mean, you were working and going to school at night. Tell us a little bit about that, and it's related to construction.
Yes, actually, I attended Virginia Western for about 4 years, taking night classes to achieve my associate's degree in construction technology.
How appropriate for this.
Exactly.
Yes.
I did that because I'd started out and I grew through the construction industry. I started out in low ranks and wanted to grow with the company, so I pursued that career in order to further my career with the company and education.
That's wonderful. And you were working
during the
while
day.
you were going to school at night, right? So were you in the construction industry at the time?
Yes.
Okay. So that really meant a lot to you, and that puts you in a perfect position to be a great mentor to young ladies like this.
Yes.
So the girls that we have behind us in class and everything, if they develop an aptitude for this, if it's something they like, is Lionberger open to doing, job shadowing and helping them along so eventually you have another source of new employees coming along?
Absolutely. Lionberger's equal opportunity. If you're willing to join the construction industry, we're willing to review your credentials to see if you qualify for an open position.
Wonderful. Well, tell us a little bit before we stop. What does a project manager do?
Well, I have several job sites that I have several men and, well, right now mostly men that work for me and will work with me rather. And we construct a building, whether that's remodeling an interior or bringing the job from the ground up.
Wow. And do you happen to have anything going on in Roanoke County right now that we'd be aware of?
Actually, I'm renovating the rack right now.
Are you really?
Another project manager started it and I actually picked it up.
Wonderful. Well, we can't wait to see the end product there. Barbara, we certainly appreciate you taking the time out to be with us today, and thank you for the role model that you're going to be for future women in construction, okay?
Well, thank you very much.
My pleasure. Don't you go away. We'll be right back. Joining me now is President Bobby Sandel of Virginia Western Community College. This is a real coup for us that you just happened to come into the classroom.
I just happened to be coming down, and
This is
here I am.
wonderful. Yeah.
I'm glad to be here.
Well, we really appreciate that Virginia Western is taking the initiative to do this type of camp because what it does, it's a major career development for these young ladies, but at the same time, it's a major push with workforce development.
No question about it.
We appreciate Virginia Western taking the leadership to do this.
We're working hard to try to get young ladies and women more involved in non-traditional type programs. There are going to be so many jobs available out there, and high-paying jobs, and we want to get people kind of turned on to these type areas as young as we can, and then we see how it goes.
And this is a perfect example because we've got all middle schoolers here, and they are making lights today.
This is a terrific class, and
Yes, it is.
really it can make a difference. I always like to say things can make a difference. Programs like this really can impact young people and really change their perspective on things sometimes. So we'll see how it goes.
Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure
I've
to
said
be
it
here.
again and again, and I know it's redundant, but we do appreciate it. So, and thank you for having such good timing to come join us now.
It was just made to be.
It was.
Yeah, glad to be here. Thank you.
And you stay tuned. We'll be right back. And what's your name?
Catherine.
Hi, Catherine. Now, how did you get involved in this camp? Why did you get excited about enrolling and coming?
My grandpa's in Habitat for Humanity, so he kind of pointed it out to me, and I got interested.
Okay, well, tell me what you and your friends are doing here on the table.
We're making a mason jar lamp, and we're going to take a mason jar and turn it into a lamp.
Great explanation. Wonderful. I knew exactly what you were doing when you explained that. Ladies, could you please model your hats and your glasses and everything so we can see your tomboy tools? They're one of our sponsors. Can you put your hard hats on?
Sure.
Okay. And I understand later in the day you're going to have some new tools like pink drills and hammers and things of that sort.
Okay.
Okay. So how's it feel? Do you feel like a real construction worker now?
In a way.
And your name is?
Emma.
Hi, Emma. And why did you decide to come to this camp?
Because my mom suggested it to me, and it sounded interesting.
Good. So now you've got something to write what I did with my summer paper when you go back to school.
I hope I don't have to write one.
Okay, I hope so too. And your name is?
Willa.
Hi, Willa. And what's your story? How did you get in camp?
My parents just suggested it, and it sounded really interesting.
I'm here now with Veronica Spradlin, the adjunct instructor for Virginia Western Community College. Welcome, Veronica.
Thank you.
Now, how did you get involved in instructing this camp for girls?
Well, I first got involved with Virginia Western as an adjunct instructor for the intensive welding program, and that's how I met Paulette. And as a member of NAWIC, she invited me to come help with this camp and to get it started. It's a camp that's been offered by NAWIC for a few years, very popular in the Georgia area, and that chapter is the one that started it. We thought it would be a great opportunity for Roanoke Valley girls to get into construction, so that's how I got involved.
It's a really exciting program, and I know the girls are loving it, and I hope you're enjoying it as well.
I am. It's a lot of fun.
Now tell me, I understand you have an interesting background, so give us an idea of where you came from.
Yeah, I started in construction in high school. I took some drafting courses and thought I wanted to be an architect. And once I went to college, I ended up majoring in building construction, loved it, and decided that the hands-on part was what I wanted to do. And I later found that I loved teaching. And so I thought, what better than to combine the two and to teach others to love the construction industry and what it has to offer. So that's what's brought me full circle back to teaching the construction trades.
This is a perfect fit for you. I know you're having a great time, and the girls are as well. Thank you for what you're doing. I'm here now with Nadine Carson, the Business Development Manager for ECS. Welcome, Nadine, to our show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, why is it important to support this kind of initiative for ECS?
Well, we find that having diversity in a workplace is very important, and having more females in the construction industry is vital. It's wonderful to have girls in non-traditional roles, to have them be able to have the opportunity to look at other things, to actually just even consider what other career options could be out there. A lot of girls just grow up thinking that this is not open to them. So having a camp like this and having them have the opportunity to work with some tools, get a little dirty, and just have the opportunity to think about it is very important.
It's very exciting for these young ladies to have that opportunity, and I know ECS is a big sponsor of this event, and thank you for doing that, and thank you for all that you do to support young ladies in the profession.
Absolutely.
Tell me how this can advance internships in the profession.
Well, we're always looking for people that are coming up in the industry that have a desire to learn more, get more involved. Something like this can stoke a little bit of desire in the girls to want to get more involved. ECS does offer internships. You have to be at least 18 years old in order to work out, because we're actually out on a lot of job sites. But we do offer internships, and a lot of people, we get a lot of people from Virginia Western that are pursuing their construction management here. And so they come over and they get a lot of real-world field experience with ECS.
That's a fantastic opportunity. Now, if someone wanted to find out more about this opportunity, how would they contact you?
Our website is www.ecslimited.com, and they can go on and find out about employment opportunities, internships. We have offices all across the U.S., so if they're not originally from this area, they can go to their home area and see if we have an office there as well.
Great. Nadine, thank you for being with us. I appreciate your help.
Have you ever wanted to make a difference in the life of an animal but didn't know how? The Regional Center for Animal Care and Protection is looking for volunteers to assist with the daily care of their animals. Volunteer opportunities include cat socialization, dog walking, front desk or kennel assistant, off-site adoption events, rescue networking, or shelter photography. As a volunteer, your time and talents will make a difference in the life of an animal. For more information on how to become a volunteer, call or email the Regional Center for Animal Care and Protection.
Welcome back. We are back on the campus of Virginia Western, but this time it's for the robotics workshop. And joining me now is Dave Stocker. Dave's an electrical engineer with T-Mike. Dave, you're also chief technologist of what area?
Of the Crane Systems Group at T-Mike.
That has to do with robotics.
Exactly.
So it's just perfect timing.
Yes.
So, Dave, take us in and do a little background here. When people are driving down 419 and they see TMEIC.
What is that?
Exactly.
Yes.
What does that stand for?
T-Mike stands for Toshiba Mitsubishi Electric Industrial Company. So we are a joint venture, T-Mike is a joint venture of Toshiba and Mitsubishi Electric. And I think most people have probably heard of those two companies anyway.
Exactly. Then when you say it like that, everybody knows exactly what's going on. Tell us a little bit about how many employees you have and what you're doing inside of the building.
Roughly about 300 employees. Mostly, our headquarters is in Roanoke County, so we're based in Roanoke County.
And we love that.
Yes,
we do.
And our specialty is designing control and automation systems for machines, particularly large industrial machines. And the group I'm in, we design control and automation systems particularly for cranes and particularly for container handling cranes. So if when you're down there at Norfolk or Hampton Roads and you see those big giant ship-to-shore container cranes, we supply all the electric control systems for those.
Oh wow, so Port of Virginia knows T-Mike very well.
Exactly, and one of the container terminals down there in Hampton Roads has in fact the first robotic container handling cranes in the United States, and that was a project of ours several years ago.
Oh, I love that. I just love hearing that. Now, you've been in the county how long?
I've been in the county since I graduated from Purdue probably more years than I care to say.
Okay.
More than 25 years
we
ago.
won't hold you to that, but we're proud of you for it. And we certainly do appreciate what you and all your colleagues are doing.
It's a lot of fun.
Give a shout out to Dale Guidry for us.
Absolutely.
And we're going to look forward to interviewing a few other of your colleagues. So thank
Sounds
you
good.
for being here at the Robotics Workshop.
Thank you.
I'm now with Tim Cudnick. Tim is an electrical engineer, and he also works for T-Mike. But at T-Mike, your job title, Tim, is applications engineer. What's an applications engineer?
Well, you get to look at specifications and make sure that the specifications meet the person's request.
We're here at the robotics camp, and you know, we want to encourage kids with math and science and moving into engineering and those types of things. Is that what happened with you?
Yes, it's very important to get young adults interested in math, science, and put the concepts which they learn in school to actual reality.
Right.
And it makes a big difference. Yeah, you learn the concepts in school, and when you can put them into actual,
Application, yeah.
application.
I think with kids too, it's the hands-on. They remember that when they get their hands on it, you know?
Exactly, exactly. And that's a great sense of satisfaction.
Yes, it is. So, you're working at T-Mike, you're the applications engineer. How do you get involved with the robotics workshop at Virginia Western Community College?
Well, actually through the T-Mike coordinator, I saw that there was an opportunity, and I'd like to work with young adults to teach them.
Right.
And it's a great feeling of satisfaction so that they can follow a good path and a good career.
And I saw you roll your sleeves up real quick, get down on the floor in the other classroom with the kids, and they were all, circled around you and ready to go.
Yeah, I enjoy that. I could do that every day, all day.
I love that. Tim, thank you for giving of your time, and we appreciate T-Mike supporting you, giving of your time and everything for the robotics workshop. So stay tuned, and we're going to tell them we'll be right back, okay?
I'm having fun.
All right, that's the thing to do. We've gone across the hall to another classroom just so you can see the Tiki robot. And this is amazing. One of the instructors made this, and we just had to show it off. So joining me right now, I have two more gentlemen from T-Mike with me. Dennis Collins, who's a system analyst with IT, and Srikanth Kapali. Did I do that right, Srikanth?
Perfect. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And Srikanth is an electrical engineer, but you also said you're a
controls engineer.
Okay, thank you. That's what I needed. So, gentlemen, let's get started. I've been so impressed with how T-Mike is involved with this robotics workshop. So, Dennis, you handle all the volunteering aspect. And I have to tell you how impressed I am that T-Mike supports its employees getting out in the community. Tell me how you find out about a workshop that Paulette Park Hill is offering.
With T-Mike, we are involved with the Virginia Western Robotics competition in the fall. So working with George and the group here. So they reached out and said they needed some more volunteers for the summer camp. So I'm really glad that we met up with Paulette and were able to lend some volunteers and some time to help the kids out with the camp.
Well, I'm sure they are too, because you've seen from the film what's going on in the other classroom, and it's wild in there, and it's so exciting, and they need a couple of extra hands in there, especially people who know what they're doing.
Yes.
Which brings us to robotics. Srikanth, how important is it for kids to have a background in math and science to be able to come to a camp like this and excel?
It's really important, and math and science can be a lot of fun, just like art and music. And everything the kids do, like even if you explain to them, like the way they tune their guitar, the way the sound waves, it's again science, it's math, it's physics.
And robotics is really catching now, especially with the success of movies like Transformers. Kids are really getting into science and technology.
Yeah.
And so we really need to push STEM education, and it's a really strong background to have. And once you have a background in math and science, you can do anything. You can go into business, you can go do whatever you want. But as long as you have that background, it sets you up for success.
I think you need to be a poster child for the educational community, especially on the STEM, because we totally agree with that. So as long as we have people like you who are pushing the math and science and wanting to be involved, and have Dennis representing your organization and letting everybody know what the volunteer opportunities are out there, I think the children in this community are in pretty good shape as long as Virginia Western keeps offering the workshops. So, gentlemen, thank you for what you do. Please keep doing it.
Sure.
And thank you for the impact you're having on the students in the area.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks.
Absolutely. We're back in the first classroom, and the kids are a lot quieter now, so maybe you can hear me. But joining me is George Stutman, and George is an engineering instructor at Virginia Western, and he is the leader of the robotics workshop. So, George, tell me, you're an engineering instructor, and in what area here at the college?
Yes, so I teach all freshman engineering courses,
Okay.
and in the freshman engineering courses we do a design project where we build a robot, and so that's how I got involved.
They found you,
That's
yes.
correct.
All right, I want you to tell me the secret, and I think I already know it because you and I have talked in the past. But for this workshop to be so successful, you've got to have a lot of things come together. You've got to have the right instructor, you've got to have the right material, you've got to have the right environment, you've got to have the right kids. But what is the main thing?
The main thing is fun.
Yes.
And to do activities that the students enjoy, and that it's all hands-on. So students want to take this kit and they put it together, and then we program it, and they have that aha moment where it does essentially what it's supposed to do, right? And and then that's where the fun comes, right? So they are becoming masters of this technology, right? So it doesn't spook them anymore.
I loved it because when we came in here, it was like an anthill. Everybody was busy, everybody was working together over one computer. They were down on the floor and, giving directions to their robots, and the robots were taking up programming, not giving directions. And it was just an amazing thing to watch. And it made me think of that you found the key in this workshop. You've made learning fun and exciting.
Yes. And they don't even realize they're doing math and doing science and doing a little electronics, all in the idea of building this robot. And the main thing also we teach them is problem-solving skills, right? Which you can use when you're critical thinking skills. They can use, in whatever class they're doing. So.
And all while they think they're having a good time.
That's right.
And so what did you do on your summer vacation?
That's right.
Came to the Virginia Western Community College and took the robotics workshop with George, of course.
Right. So.
George, thank you for everything you're doing for these kids. We really appreciate it. And thank you for taking time out for the classroom to talk to us.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Thank you for joining us on Roanoke County Business Partners. This show is all about career development, workforce development on the elementary and the middle school levels. And we want to thank Dr. Robert Sandel and Paulette Parkhill for the workshops that they're providing here with the Kids College at Virginia Western Community College. And we also want to thank our business partners in Roanoke County who are coming here, sponsoring, being instructors in the classroom. It's just a great example of how the community comes together. So thank you for joining us.